place of the final are Radical Prince in 1, Market Rascal 2, Ballymoss Clover 3, Aspire 4, Punter's Pitch in 5, and Manx Treasure, the favourite, is running from 6. And away they go, and Manx Treasure has bombed away on the outside. Favourite backers happy at this point. Out in front of Ballymoss Clover, Radical Prince the inside, but it's Manx Treasure showing clear now. In second is Radical Prince, in third is Ballymoss Clover, then comes Market Rascal down the back towards the third bend, and still out clear is Manx Treasure way out in front. Radical Prince second, Ballymoss Clover and Market Rascal, they're all bidding for a place in the final, but Manx Treasure is scorching home, pulled home by Radical Prince, getting a place in the final, Ballymoss Clover. And Follow Melody bidding for a big Derby double as he carries a favourite tag into the semi-final. The signal goes up, the bell sounds, and the second semi-final will be on its way in a matter of seconds. The hare moves away. 1 is Superfine Darky, 2 Parquet Pet, 3 is Après Soleil, running in 4 is Farlow Melody, 5 Polnoon Chief, and 6 is Sliding Away. Farlow is in 4. Here to the trap, and away they go, and Farlow came away well, but not as well as Sliding Away, but is pushing his way up on the outside of Superfine Darky, and as they race round the bend, on the outside it's Sliding Away who leads from Superfine Darky. Farlow with a bit to do, Polnoon Chief making ground on his inside, but going down now to the bottom turn, Sliding Away, Superfine Darky. Farlow is struggling in third. They're racing towards the home turn, and Sliding Away is in the lead from Superfine Darky. Farlow putting in a bid on the outside to gain a place in the final. He gets there, but the winner is Sliding Away. Superfine Darky is second, and Farlow is staying in there, but only by the skin of his teeth. But another good performance from trap number 6, Sliding Away.
And that, of course, is how they qualified here last Saturday night. Some in style, some just about making it. The 6 dogs through to the final of the Respond Irish Derby. As we say good evening to you and welcome to Shelbourne Park. Of course, it's the world's most valuable greyhound race. £100,000 in prize money on offer in all, and £50,000, a whopping fee indeed, for the winning dog here tonight, and £10,000 for the runners-up. Will Farlow Melody, for instance, from Trap 6, complete a unique double? The English Derby won in June, of course. Can he tonight win the Irish Derby? And of course the favourite, Manx Treasure, just inside him there on Trap 5. And there's been a good deal of concern about the favourite, Manx Treasure, in the last couple of days. So to get an update on that, let's join our commentary team now. Once again we say good evening to Michael Fortune and Des Scahill.
Yes, well, Ger, there you said about Manx Treasure, and the word about Manx Treasure isn't all that encouraging for his supporters. I've been speaking to Donnacha O'Sullivan, who's the son of the trainer Mickey O'Sullivan, and Donnacha confirms that the dog has tender today on his suspect right hind hock, which he actually suffered a hairline fracture just over 2 months ago, and he's had a rushed preparation, and the dog is tender, he said, on a bit of heat in the leg, and they're very worried about how the dog will run, that he's actually just that little bit tender on it. So that's the word about Manx Treasure, and as a result he has drifted into betting. And there, Desi, a look at the betting.
Yes, indeed, unfortunate for the connections of Manx Treasure and those who have backed him anti-post, because he has given away favouritism to the well-drawn Farlow Melody, the favourite at 7-4, running from 6. Manx Treasure, second favourite at 9-4. Number 1, Radical Prince, is on 7-1. There are 2 8-1 shots in the race. Number 2, Superfine Darky, and number 4, Sliding Away. And the rank outsider of the 6 in the Respond Irish Greyhound Derby final is number 3, Ballymoss Clover, at 40-1.
Yes, and looking at those races, or those prices there, the one which attracts me at the moment at that price is the each-way bet on number 2, Superfine Darky, at 8-1. Seems extremely generous odds, especially with any doubt whatever about number 5, Manx Treasure. Now, Manx is in the field, and Mickey O'Sullivan wouldn't allow the dog run if he wasn't sure that at least the dog could give a good account of himself. But as there's an old saying that you have to be 110% fit to win a derby, and well, there is a doubt about the dog, and it doesn't help his prospects. Meanwhile, the race we're coming up to is the Kerry Group 750 final, a very open race indeed.
And the runners for the Kerry Group 750, a very open race with 3 very strongly fancied in the market. The runners, number 1, Don Boy, is 2-1. Number 2, Sleepy Shadow, is 6-1. Number 3, Claddagh King, rank outside at 33-1. Number 4, Ballyhora Moon, is on 5-1. The favourite is number 5, Tunduff Susie, at 7-4. And number 6, Matchless Matt, is on 3-1. So some active market in the ring, and Don Boy is 2-1, and he's running from number 1. But Tunduff Susie from 5 is the fractional favourite at the moment.
Yes, there you see the runners, and the head runner there at the moment just in front is number 1 Dunboy. This fellow won very impressively in the semi-final, which we showed on television last week. This fellow is a son of Druid's Lodge and Susie's cousin, owned and trained by Matt Travers in Athgo outside Dublin here, and he came home powerfully to beat Matchless Matt on that occasion. And mention Matchless Matt, that's him alongside him. Matchless Matt there on the near side, the coloured dog, the white and fawn dog. Matchless Matt, this son of Hit the Lid and Mowgli Mutt, owned by Alice Swaffield from York and trained by Matt O'Donnell. And speaking to Matt during the week, he expects the dog to stay much better on this occasion. Said he'd done a lot of marathon running in England and he thinks he'll stay on very well now. But the one they all have to beat here is number 5 Tonduff Susie. Now the one we're looking at the moment is number 2 Sleepy Shadow, this one owned by John Duggan from Waterford, trained by Michael Gallagher. She's a daughter of Easy and Slow and Sleepy Molly, and ran very well here last week in third, beating a length and a short head by Ballyhara Moon and Tonduff Susie. And now going to the left there, you see number 5 Tonduff Susie. We've just passed her by, and we saw number 3 there, Cladda King, going out of the picture. There's number 4 Ballyhara Moon, and followed by Tonduff Susie. Sorry, that's number 2 Sleepy Shadow, which we spoke about. And out behind now, if we pan back behind number 2 Sleepy Shadow, we will see there's Tonduff Susie now. This is the favourite, this one owned jointly by John McDermott and Bernie O'Shea from Kileshin and Carlow. Very good stare indeed, and those who watched the semi-finals with us last week will have seen how unlucky this one was, because she got very badly balked in the second bend, was tailed off down the back straight and flew home to be only beaten a length in second place. Now if she can be in touch at halfway, well, I wouldn't care to be betting against her. A very, very useful performer, that's Tonduff Susie. There now in the background we see number 4, the man with the white cap on him there, that's Ballyhara Moon. This Ballyhay runner from Cork, a daughter of Skellig's Tiger and Ahaveen Fever. This one has buckets of early pace, ran well here in the Derby. She's just covered there by Matchless Matt and Willie Den in the foreground. But now you see Ballyhara move there, walking in the background there in the back straight. And this one can be expected to be up front right throughout the race. There now is number 3 Cladda King, the 33-1 outsider there, as you can see from our caption, as we see Tonduff Susie has gone to 2-1, Dunboy at 5-2, Matchless Matt at 7-2. And then you have Sleepy Shadow, a bit of support from that, from 6s into 5s. We're talking about number 3 Cladda King there in the background. We see Mona O'Flaherty here from Dublin, from Whitworth Road in Dublin, and she's the owner of Cladda King, and Cladda King, a son of Great Exception and Rushwee Pebbles. He doesn't deserve to be 33-1, I'll tell you that much. He's a novice over marathon distances, but ran very well here first time and can be expected to run very well here again. So that is the entire lineup. We've managed to get to them one by one as we see Ballyhara Moon now coming back in a clear view, walking back towards the traps. Racing just a few minutes late here tonight. An absolutely huge crowd here at Shelbourne Park tonight, and it's one of the biggest crowds we've ever seen for a Derby final. And a lot of people wondered how the crowd would fare considering it wasn't on All-Ireland final weekend. Well, I think it's even bigger than what we have seen on All-Ireland final weekends, because when you look across at the second bend, they're over there, they're 4 and 5 deep, and it's very rarely you see that here at Shelbourne Park. So now this final of the 750, and meanwhile, just as we wait for him to go to traps, just a word about a big meeting that's coming on very shortly here in October the 8th down at Clonmel. They're having a very big meeting. It's for the Multiple Sclerosis Care Centre in Dublin. A top class card lined up for that, with a lot of very valuable opens on it, and an all sponsored card, and it's for a very, very worthy cause indeed. And well, we'd encourage anybody who can support it to go along to Clonmel on the 8th of October. And of course that brings us to a very interesting benefit meeting which is being held here in Shelbourne Park on the 1st of November. We can reveal will be the first Sunday greyhound race meeting in Ireland, and it's certainly, I imagine that all records will be broken here on that day. It's probably the start will be around 5 o'clock. That's not finalised yet, but Sunday, November 1, a big gala meeting here at Shelbourne Park, and it's all going towards Somalia, so a very worthy occasion indeed that will be. And there's the betting again, Des.
Well, little change in the market, except that Tonduff Susie has just eased that fraction to 2-1 that you pointed out just a second earlier. Dunboy has moved out half a point to be second favourite at 5-2. Number 6, Matchless Matt, is on 7-2, and Ballyhora Moon, that one who beat Tonduff Susie a length last time they ran, is on 5-1. Sleepy Shadow has just come in that 1 point in the market to 5-1, and as you expressed, Michael, that Cladda King a wrong price at that value of 33-1. But Tonduff Susie is favourite to gain revenge over Ballyhora Moon, a length between them last time, and Matchless Matt, who was a 2-length runner-up to number 1 Dunboy. So a couple of clashes to be settled here. having run last time out against each other. Dunboy proved 2 lengths too good for Matchless Matt, and Ballyhora Moon, now a 5-1 shot, beat Tundov Susie a length, and Tundov Susie is the 2-1 favourite tonight.
Yes, well, Des, I'm not jumping off the stand here now to take the 33-1 about Claddagh King, but it is value. My money, and I'd say it's a millstone around its neck at the moment, is on Tundov Susie like it was last week. But as I say, that's a millstone around its neck just at this moment. But this Tundov Susie will be one of the big fancies for the forthcoming Graham 700 at Dunmore, which is record prize money this year, and this Tundov Susie is likely to be aimed at that and will certainly be one of the really strong challengers. In fact, any of these runners in this race would all be considered top challengers for that. That's going to be a very interesting competition indeed. And there's another show to betting.
Well, Tundov Susie has come back now to be a definite warm favourite at 7-4. It's 5-2 Dunboy, and Matchless Matt beginning to edge out now in the market, having opened at 3-1. Went 7-2 is now a 4-1 shot. 2 5-1 shots are number 2 Sleepy Shadow and Ballyhora Moon. Dunboy remaining there 5-2 from the inside, and Claddagh King 33-1. But the punters are definitely going for Tundov Susie in this one, as we still await the runners to go up towards the traps. They've been over there for some time now for this Kerry Group 750, and of course before the big one we've got the Respond Consolation Derby before the big one, and we've got a couple of absentees unfortunately from that one, but to the advantages of the reserves, Market Rascal and Parquet Pet will not run in that Consolation Derby, and they'll be replaced by Bruno's Dream and Crory Country. Paul Noon Chief, who only just failed to get that third place from Farlow Melody, will be running in that Consolation. But of course the big one will be later on, £50,000 and a trophy to the winner of the 1992 Respond Irish Derby final. And of course very disappointing to hear the news that all is not 100% with Manx Treasure, and that has been reflected just in the market in the last 3/4 of an hour or so, with Farlow Melody bidding to win the Irish and English Derby.
Well, they're strolling back, as you can see, to the traps. Joining me now, Taoiseach Albert Reynolds. It was a decent night, but the rain just beginning to come down, unfortunately, but a great atmosphere.
Marvellous atmosphere, great crowd, but I didn't bring the rain with me.
I met you here last year.
I have no coat, so I can do without it.
You're a greyhound racing fan, I know. You like all sports?
I like all sports. We have a good greyhound track in Longford, so not that I have much time in recent years, but I was always a good lover of sports, and I follow the dogs, follow horses, anything that goes.
Is there what we could call a Taoiseach's tip for the big one tonight?
Well, they say number 6 is going to make history. He won the English Derby and maybe the Irish Derby as well, but number 5 I believe is a good fast young dog. Somebody would say number 2 is an outside chance, so there it is. I don't know which I'll back yet.
Any chance you'll put a 50p bet on one of these guys? In sterling?
Sterling is losing its value by 10%. We better stick with the pound. It's worth more than sterling for the last while.
Well, I know you work here in Dublin. Can I ask you, and you have to be careful here, did you enjoy last Sunday in Croke Park?
I did indeed. I'll be in Croke Park again tomorrow for the Camogie final, and I enjoy all sports. It's relaxation for me. I don't play golf and things like that, so I have to go somewhere. Sport is my day out or night out, as it is here tonight.
Indeed it is. Lovely to meet you again. Thanks a million, Taoiseach. We'll go back and join our commentary team. Thank you.
Yes, well, Albert Reynolds there, and well, he's been speaking about greyhound racing in recent days, because I know that there have been a few discussions in Government House about Sunday racing, greyhound racing in Ireland, so I'm sure Albert was consulted in some way or other on the matter.
And there's the betting yet again for the Kerry Group 750. Little change in the market from the last show. Tundov Susie from 5 is the 7-4 favourite. On 5-2 is number 1 Dunboy. 4-1 Matchless Matt, 5-1 each of 2 Sleepy Shadow, Ballyhora Moon, and 33-1 Claddagh King. And the dogs are now being put into the traps right over on the far side. The 750, they're always a good spectacle, because the 525s are affectionately known as the 30-second cleaners. At least it'll take a little bit longer this time. Right. So they're all in. The signal goes up, the bell sounds, and just to recap on the 6 runners for the Kerry Group 750. 1 is Donboy, 2 Sleepy Shadow, 3 is Cladda King, 4 Ballyhora Moon, 5 the favourite Tundove Susie, and 6 Matchless Matt on the outside. Short run to the first bend. And away they go, and a very good break there from Ballyhora Moon, with on the outside running up Matchless Matt, on the inside Sleepy Shadow, Cladda King next. A bit of running for the favourite to do. In fact, it's right back last and racing up to the bend in past the stands. It is Ballyhora Moon on the inside, Matchless Matt beginning to move up ominously on the outside, and the pair are clear of Sleepy Shadow, and then Cladda King. Donboy and the favourite is last, but now going into the second last bend, they're beginning to bunch, and it's Ballyhora Moon now from Matchless Matt, a couple of lengths to Donboy, and they're followed by Sleepy Shadow, but Ballyhora Moon looks as if she's holding them now as they race up towards the finish. It's Ballyhora Moon from Donboy, Ballyhora Moon, Donboy. Getting the third is Matchless Matt, and Tundove Susie only getting into it all too late, but Ballyhora Moon broke smartly and stayed there.
Yes, well, I think the favourite remembered only too well her experience of last week when she got absolutely massacred on the second corner, and, well, she didn't really run at all until the very end. The race was over. There you see the winner, Ballyhora Moon, this daughter of Skellig's Tiger and Ahaveen Fever, owned by J.M. Riley from Ballyhay in Cork. And watch the start on it. It's Ballyhora Moon getting out fast from number 6 Matchless Matt in second. Sleepy Shadow now goes into second on the inside, Matchless Matt in third, and look at the rear of the field. Tundove Susie, well enough position at this time, but off the second bend she went for a stroll as Ballyhora Moon in front, Matchless Matt second now, Sleepy Shadow on the inside sharing that position, Cladda King in fourth, and then we go back to the other two, which are Donboy and Tundove Susie. Two well-fancied runners. Look, Tundove Susie running right across the hay rail. This is not her style of running. Very strange performance from this pitch. Up in front, Ballyhora Moon in first. Matchless Matt in second. Coming up to challenge Ballyhora now on the bend into the back straight. Ballyhora Moon in front, Matchless Matt on the outside, coming up to challenge. They're gone now, what, 3 or 4 lengths in front from Sleepy Shadow in third, Cladda King, Donboy and Tundove Susie. At the rear, beginning to make a bit of ground. But in front, Ballyhora Moon holding the challenge of Matchless Matt, which looked as if he was going to sweep by there for a while, but this Ballyhora Moon had run very well here in a few rounds of the Derby, had won over 745 yards in Cork and 700 yards in Youghal before that, and, well, she's out there in front, this one. Long striding bitch, this Ballyhora Moon, and now she's starting to stretch away as she comes off the last corner. Donboy putting in his usual late run at this stage, but he's left it far too late on this occasion. Coming to the line, Ballyhora Moon the winner, Donboy second, Matchless King third, and then Tundove Susie just getting into it at the very end to get fourth place.
And Ballyhora Moon, good value there, having beaten Tundove Susie last time by a length, was a 6-1 winner. Second was Donboy at 5-2, and the time was 42.61.
Yes, well, that was the Kerry Group 750. The big one, of course, tonight is the final of the Respond Irish Derby. The winner's prize of £50,000, the record winner's prize in the world for the Greyhound Classic. And there we see the betting.
Well, Farlow has taken over the market now as favourite. Number 6, Farlow Melody, despite only finishing third in the 2 qualifiers up to the final, is 7-4 favourite. Second favourite, Manx Treasure. At 7-1 is number 1 Radical Prince. 2 8-1 shots are number 2 Superfine Darky, and number 4 sliding away with Ballymoss Clover at 40-1 the outsider. So Farlow appears as if he's going to carry a favourites tag to land the Irish Derby to the English one.
Yes, indeed, Farlow Melody, fancied by many people, of course, to complete that unique double a little while from now. That'll be about 9:45. Mind you, we're hoping to gain up a little bit of ground here now, because that last live race certainly delayed proceedings here somewhat. You heard the Taoiseach just a few minutes ago saying that he'll be in Croke Park tomorrow. I'll be there too, indeed. It will be the big one, the Camogie final between Cork and Wexford, and the Cork captain tomorrow afternoon is Sandy Fitzgibbon, and Sandy joins me now. We know you as a basketball player, as a camogie player as well. Have you a preference, or does it just depend on the season?
Well, one season is the off season for the other, so I can play both, and I enjoy both. Once I start playing, I'm really into that sport then again, so I have no preference as such.
Of course, you're going all year round because of that. A winter season essentially for basketball.
That's right. the camogie season would end normally around September, and the basketball season starts in October, and it finishes in March, and the camogie season starts in April, so it's one into the other really.
You're always training, so?
Yeah, more or less. At least then it's not as hard to get back your fitness, because you don't never lose it and such.
What about tomorrow's final? How many finals will this be for Sandy Fitzgibbon?
Tomorrow's final will be my 8th. I've won 2 and lost 5, so hopefully tomorrow will be a 3rd win.
Things haven't gone too great in the last few years. There was always that stumbling block called Kilkenny.
Well, actually we came up against that block in the semi-final stage this year. It was a tremendous game, and we were delighted we came out winners this time, and hopefully tomorrow we'll do justice again tomorrow and win.
You've met Wexford a few times, I know, this year.
Yeah, we met them twice, once in the league itself and once in the league final. So they beat us in the league and we beat them in the final. So tomorrow will be a cracker, I'm sure.
We're all hoping, of course, for a big crowd tomorrow. What kind of day will suit Cork, do you think?
A dry day will suit Cork, but we are prepared for any kind of day tomorrow.
You're used to playing in front of big crowds. You've big crowds playing at the cup matches in basketball. What about the crowd in Croke Park? Sometimes it all appears a little bit deflating because the week before you have the football final and there's 60,000 people there. There won't be 60,000 people there tomorrow, mind you. We all wish there would be.
I doubt it, but there'll be a big enough crowd for us. We're not used to the big crowd, so it'll be awesome for us as well tomorrow with the crowd that are there, and with the sound, the hollow sound, because it's not full, it'll sound worse, you know.
You've brought a fair number of Cork camogie people here with you tonight. What do you make of the atmosphere?
Oh, it's very good. I didn't realise there was such a big crowd follows the Greyhounds. We're enjoying it immensely.
In fact, when we got here about 7 o'clock, it was almost impossible to get in because the cars were packed everywhere and anywhere.
We've got some passes. We were given passes, so we were lucky enough to get in that way.
OK, Sandy, we wish you the very best of luck tomorrow. Wish you the best of luck as well to Wexford. Let's be absolutely fair about that and hope that the game of camogie indeed will be the winner. That was Sandy Fitzgibbon. She'll be playing in Croke Park tomorrow afternoon. If you can get a chance to go there, well, why not get along? Let's go back meanwhile and join our commentary team as we build up towards the derby and indeed the consolation race just immediately before that.
Yes, well, Ger, just in case Sandy gets all the word, we'd wish Wexford the best of luck for quite obvious reasons. A lot of people will know, but well, we can't win many other things, so we're shouting on the camogie winner. But earlier on tonight we had some very interesting racing, and one particularly interesting race was the final of the Kerry Group 360 with many of the top sprinters in Ireland in action.
Dogs in traps for the Kerry Group 360. 1 is Toe Tapper, 2 is Gronya's Boy, number 3 Toby's Reflection, a non-runner, 4 Special Moment, the favourite, 5 is Williams Glen, and 6 is another Air Mount. Hare coming towards the traps, and away they go, and bombing from the outside is another Air Mount. Going up on the inside is Toe Tapper after the Special Moment, and Gronya's Boy right in between them, but it's another Air Mount who leads Special Moment, the favourite, as they race towards the home turn. Going back up on the inside, Toe Tapper, and running up now towards the outside. Special Moment is swept through now to lead and hold off from in second place another Air Mountain on the inside, Gronya's Boy, but a very good win for Special Moment.
Well, National Stadium, you see, we only rent them, we only have it with their own, you know, so there's all lots
a
of
very interesting race, that sprint contest, and what a performance it was from Special Moment, who must rank as one of our best sprinters at the moment, because that was a particularly pleasing performance, owned by Noel Brown from Castle Island, and the son of I'm Slippy and Michigan Moira, which was one of the favourites for the Produce Stakes final at Clonmel back in April. Has had very little racing since then, but he's had 3 races in the last week, and he has proved himself to be a sprinter extraordinaire. And there's the result, Des.
Yes, Special Moment, a popular choice. Number 4, the winner at even money. Second was another Air Mount at 8-1, and the time was 19:43.
Well, the rain continues to team down here. I'm joined by Joe Delaney. Joe, you didn't bring the overcoat tonight, Vice President of the FAI.
No, I'm always optimistic, Ger, no matter what happens.
You were telling me that you've a few bob on one of the dogs on the Derby itself.
Well, it's a well-known fact that back to the top one, Eddie Wade's dog down there from Dundrum at 50-1 to win it out, and I'm not hedging.
Fancy his chances. He's got an inside draw, which is inside lane, that is, trap number 1.
Well, I'd love to see it win for Eddie, because Eddie's a dedicated man. You know, if there's a little bit of trouble at the first bend, we might be there, a bit of a shout.
Radical Prince, of course, is a son also, and in fact has some direct connection with Farlow Melody, both sons of the same father, as it were.
That's right, but all I know is he's bred by Jimmy Hennessy down there in Dundrum. It's an all-tipper area for him, owned by Tony Brennan from Cork. And if any man deserves it, Tony Brennan deserves to win the Derby. He's been second twice in the final.
The talk, of course, is about Manx Treasure and Farlow Melody.
Yeah, well, I backed Farlow to win out the English Derby and gave him a good shout on to it, but tonight my heart will be with Eddie Wade.
He's only finished third in the last 2 races. Is there a view at all? I know there is among some punters here. Well, how do you feel about the fact that some people are saying, well, he's had too many races. This is race number 51 tonight.
For Farlow, yeah. He possibly is, but he has his favourite box, you know, and people are saying openly he's a tired dog, but then Matt O'Donnell is a master, you know, and Matt O'Donnell will have him right on the night. And remember, if like in football parlance, he knows what it's all about in the final. He's been here before.
Like he's going for 3 in a row after the last 2 years.
Fair credit to him. And remember, tonight you have 4 Tipperary trainers in the final, so it's coming Tipperary's way, I think.
That's Joe Delaney. Joe, thank you very much indeed. The dogs are heading into traps in the rain. Let's go for the Consolation Derby.
Well, the dogs are just going in now for the Respond Consolation Derby. Just to tell you, number 1, Bruno's Dream, deputises for Market Rascal in 1. Number 2 is Après Soleil. Number 3 is Crawley County, Reserve B, running in place of Parquet Pet. Number 4 is Aspire. Number 5 is Polnoon Chief. And number 6 is Punter's Pitch. And the dogs are in for this Respond Consolation Derby.
Yes, well, Polnoon Chief, the dog who just missed out in qualifying for the final, a very deserving favourite here, but he's a dog who runs very wide and can run very late. Number 2, Après Soleil, could be an interesting one here, Des.
Well, running wide or not, he's definitely a very short price as Polnoon Chief, and he's running from 5, so keep an eye on that. It's an odds-on chance for this consolation. And away they go, and from the inside Bruno's Dream comes well away. Moving up is Après Soleil. Also moving up on their outside is Punter's Pitch, and racing down the far side now it's Bruno's Dream. They're beginning to box up with moving up Après Soleil on the inside, getting a good run, and now Bruno's Dream pressed by Après Soleil, right with them on the outside Punter's Pitch, and after these Polnoon Chief beginning to close. It's an open race. They run round the home turn, and on the inside Après Soleil coming right up towards them on the centre is just going to get up Bruno's Dream, but on the outside Punter's Pitch and Polnoon Chief didn't make the first 3, but I think possibly Après Soleil might just have nudged up in the centre, but it was a close one off that last bend.
Yes, a very close race there, and it looks as if Bruno's Dream in the centre has just made it, but what a battle it was all the way, and really an exciting one. Not one for the punters though, because Polnoon Chief struggling all the way. This wide running habits of his, while they cost him dear, and they cost him there again. Now we see it again. The traps, and their way they go. Number 1, Bruno's Dream, gets a flyer. Now he was only 4th around the bend in a 5.75 yard race here on Monday night. He's in front there of Après Soleil. Après Soleil now going up fast in 2. Looks as if he's going to go to the front here off the second bend, but just becomes a meat in the sandwich there slightly between Bruno's Dream on the inside, Punter's Pitch on the outside, and Punters takes a nice little bang there. At this stage Polnoon Chief is last, now moves quickly through into 4th place and is now putting in his challenge down the back, but Bruno's Dream in front. Now Après Soleil switches to the inside, going up the inside now into the 3rd bend, and just getting up the inside, just shading it on the 3rd bend here, Après Soleil. Meanwhile, Punter's Pitch on the outside, Polnoon Chief not making any significant ground, still 2 lengths behind the 3 of them, but switching for home. Bruno's Dream in the centre, Après Soleil on the inside, Punter's Pitch behind, and now Polnoon Chief making ground, but suddenly checking wide as he's cut off there, and way wide out of the hair rail, coming to the line. What a battle in the middle though. Bruno's Dream just gets the nod from number 6, Punter's Pitch 2nd, and Après Soleil 3rd, but I must say that's unofficial. It's my reading of it, but I think Bruno's Dream is one, Des.
Well, it looks as if Bruno's Dream in the centre is just edged out on either side, but it is close for the second between Punter's Pitch and Après Soleil, but not official. We think Bruno's Dream has won at 4-1, but we'll wait for confirmation of that result.
What an absolutely tremendous finish that was. We're hoping for something similar in the big one itself. £50,000 on offer in a few minutes' time for the Respond Irish Derby final. That'll be right after the break. Welcome back to a rain-drenched Shelbourne Park for the final of the Respond Irish Derby for 1992, the world's most valuable greyhound race. £100,000 in prize money in all, of course, £50,000 for the winner here tonight. And Pat Holland, who's the Deputy Chief Executive of Board Nagan, joins me now. First of all, let's talk about the Breeders' Prize that's on offer here tonight, but only 2 of the dogs, in fact, can effectively win this money. £10,000 on offer.
Yeah, well, it's a great prize, Ger. It's Radical Prince and Superfine Dark, eh? And there's great credit due to the breeders who enter their dogs at litter stage for this event. This is the first time ever that this system was introduced. And Jimmy Hennessy, who bred Radical Prince, is a great supporter. He actually goes racing, I think, nearly 6 times a week. And so does Francis O'Brien from County Tyrone. They're great supporters of the game. And it's great to see those 2 men qualify for £10,000 Breeders' Prize.
Just to explain why they're in line for it and not the other 6, it's all about registering, all about entering your dog for the Derby at litter registration time, is that it?
That's it, Ger. At a litter registration stage, up to 12 weeks, you can enter your dog and pay £25. For the first running of this Derby, the produce stakes was included as well. But now the produce stakes is going alone, and it's just £25 to enter. If you happen to breed the Derby winner, you get a £10,000 bonus.
Pat, the best of luck to them and best of luck to you as well on this very, very damp night. Let's go back now and begin our build-up to the Derby itself with our commentary team. But first, confirmation of that last race and the result.
A win for Bruno's Dream at 4-1. Second was Punter's Pitch 7-1, and the time was 31:01.
Yes, well, the Respond Irish Derby final here tonight marks the end of a great career, because Farlow Melody is running his last race here in the Derby final tonight. How appropriate it would be if he were to become the only dog ever to win both the English and the Irish Derby finals. But we go back a year ago, and a certain Farlow Melody was in that race. He was favourite in trap 6, and his kennel companion, Ardfert Mick, was in trap 1.
And the runners: 1 Ardfert Mick, 2 Super Gem, 3 Coldbrook Tiger, 4 Ask Clare, 5 is Lions Monks, and 6 is the favourite, Farlow Melody. The hare comes round to the traps, and listen to the roar when they break away. Away they go, and Farlow has come out but just stumbled momentarily, and it's Ask Clare, and Ardfert Mick has raced up on the inside, and those looking to support the red jacket must be happy at this point. And racing on down the far side, it's Ardfert Mick from Ask Clare in second. Trying hard is Farlow Melody, but racing down now to the bottom bend, it's Ardfert Mick all the way from Ask Clare, and then comes Super Gem. Farlow Melody's no chance, it's Ardfert Mick all the way to the line to win the 1991 Respond. Ardfert Mick's bullet from Ask Clare. It's going to be close for the third between Super Gem and Lions Monks, in a great performance from Ardfert Mick, who won it at the first turn by skipping through after Farlow looked as if he was going to show the pace away, but just lost it in the first few strides.
Well, the two of them, Ardfert Mick and Farlow Melody, had another great clash last year. It was in the final of the FIBO Champion Stakes, and what a clash they had. Just savour this.
The runners: 1 Ardfert Mick, the favourite, 2 is Village Support, 3 the outsider Big Cloud, 4 is Farlow Melody, 5 is Terry Dumtrico, and in 6 is Summerhill Super. And away they go, and it's from 5 Terry Drumtico is moving up Farlow Melody, who's going to lead them into the first turn. Village Support on the inside, but it's Farlow Melody with on the outside Terry Drumtico. Ardfert Mick has a bit of running to do, but is making ground in third, and it's in the outside Farlow Melody. Ardfert Mick making a great move up into second ahead of Terry Drumtico, but coming round the home turn, it's Farlow Melody from Ardfert Mick, putting in a big finish on the far side. Ardfert Mick on the far side, just going to win it. Ardfert Mick just touches off Farlow Melody with Village Support in third, and then came Terry Drumtico. A beautifully timed effort by Ardfert Mick, after moving into a good challenging position, has just done enough and railed beautifully in the straight to touch off in a dramatic finish from Farlow Melody, who looked to be in a great position, having led.
Yes, what a race there. It looked all over as Farlow Melody led from Terry Drumtico, but this Ardfert Mick, he doesn't know what it's like to be beaten. We've seen great blacks running over the last few years, Manorville Magic and Fly Cruiser recently. Well, Count Ardfert Mick is another one of them. Look at him here, the way he takes the paint off those rails at the opening corners. Out of nothing he makes a chance for himself, getting into third place here, or joint third with Village Support at this stage. And out in front, Farlow Melody got a cracking break from 4. Terry Drumtico is a length off him. All his racing and travelling probably telling on him now. But look at Ardfert Mick, the pace of him down that back straight, as he comes from 4, 5, 6 lengths behind at one stage, now moving into a challenging position. And O'Donnell 1-2 here as Farlow Melody leads around the third bend. Ardfert Mick in second, a length and a half. It's down to a length, and Ardfert's just taking the paint off the rails. Look at him, hardly moves away from the rail. Farlow moving out, Ardfert cutting in now for the inside, and there he is with an advantage of about a half a length, 3/4 of a length. The angle deceptive. Ardfert Mick, Farlow Melody coming back at him again. A really gallant performance from Farlow Melody, but Ardfert Mick has poached it, and coming to the line, Ardfert Mick just gets there in front of Farlow Melody. It's a photo finish, but a little doubt about it that Ardfert Mick is the winner. Second, Farlow Melody, and I'd say that number 2, Village Support, just getting there in third, ahead of Terry Drumtico. Well, we'll cut from nostalgia there with a look at the betting here on the Respond Irish Derby final.
Well, little change except a little bit of support. People thinking the 8-1 about Superfine Darky is good enough value, and that one has come in a point to 7-1. But the complete betting then, with just an announcement being made, less than 3 minutes to bet. Number 6, Farlow Melody, is the 7-4 favourite. Number 5, Manx Treasure, is 9-4 second favourite. We've got 2 7-1 shots. Number 1, Radical Prince, and number 2, Superfine Darky. It's 8-1 sliding away, and 40-1, number 3, Ballymoss Clover.
Yes, well, in case you think that Farlow Melody was beaten in all these finals, you know, he won 2 Easter Cups, he won 2 Dundalk Internationals, and there was a certain night in June this year in Wimbledon when he ran in the English Derby final.
92, the Mirror Life Greyhound Derby. Look for 1 and 6. They are supposed to be the ones who are going to get out. Away they go, and Glengar Ranger a bit slow out, and it's let Gentle Warning in 2 steal it, with Penny's Best on the outside, and Shistalor. And it's Shistalor now who's gone to the front from Farlow Melody. Now can Farlow pick him up on the back straight? Shistalor half a length clear from Farlow Melody. Penny's Best running one of the best races of his life in third, but now Farlow Melody's in top gear, and you won't see this being caught. Farlow Melody storms to the line. It's an Irish winner. Farlow Melody wins the Derby. Close for second. Windsor Abbey, I think, just got up to pit Glengar Ranger, but there's no doubt about the winner. Farlow Melody, the one so many have fancied, has landed this Daily Mirror Sporting Life Derby and made it look very, very easy.
Yes, well, a magical performance there from Farlow as we see them coming out. But there was a matter of semi-finals here last week. Great racing, and let's have a look at them.
For the place in the final are Radical Prince in 1, Market Rascal 2, Ballymoss Clover 3, Aspire 4, Punter's Pitch in 5, and Manx Treasure, the favourite, is running from 6. And away they go, and Manx Treasure has bombed away on the outside. Favourite backers happy at this point. Out in front of Ballymoss Clover, Radical Prince the inside, but it's Manx Treasure showing clear now. In second is Radical Prince, in third is Ballymoss Clover. Then comes Market Rascal down the back towards the third bend, and still out clear is Manx Treasure way out in front. Radical Prince second, Ballymoss Clover and Market Rascal, they're all bidding for a place in the final, but Manx Treasure is scorching home, pulled home by Radical Prince, getting a place in the final, Ballymoss Clover. And Farlow Melody bidding for a big Derby double as he carries a favourites tag into this semi-final. The signal goes up, the bell sounds, and the second semi-final will be on its way in a matter of seconds. The hare moves away. 1 is Superfine Darky, 2 Parquet Pet, 3 is Après Soleil, running in 4 is Farlow Melody, 5 Polnoon Chief, and 6 is Sliding Away. Farlow is in 4. Here to the trap, and away they go, and Farlow came away well, but not as well as Sliding Away, but is pushing his way up on the outside of Superfine Darky, and as they race round the bend, on the outside it's Sliding Away who leads from Superfine Darky. Farlow with a bit to do, Polnoon Chief making ground on his inside, but going down now to the bottom turn, Sliding Away, Superfine Darky. Farlow is struggling in third. They're racing towards the home turn, and Sliding Away is in the lead from Superfine Darky. Farlow putting in a bid on the outside to gain a place in the final. He gets there, but the winner is Sliding Away. Superfine Darky is second, and Farlow is staying in there, but only by the skin of his teeth. But another good performance from trap number 6, Sliding Away.
Yes, that was a great performance. And there we see number 1 in the final tonight, Radical Prince, with his trainer Eddie Wade. Despite the heavy rain, Eddie has a big smile on his face. Radical Prince, the son of Lodge Prince and Gary Duff Lassie, winner of the Lee Strand Austin Stacks 550 down in Tralee in the year, owned by Tony Brennan from Castlemartyr and bred by Jimmy Hennessy in Dundrum, County Tipperary. And Jimmy stands to win £10,000 as the breeder's prize if Radical Prince finishes in front of number 2, Superfine Darky. So Radical Prince in trap 1, a dog who did 30-43 here in the first round proper of the stake, and a very fast finisher, and a dog well drawn and won. Now we see number 2, Superfine Darky. That's his trainer Alan Black from Bestbrook holding the dog, and there you see a lovely picture of Superfine Darky, the son of Low Sale and Lisnakill Carmel, owned and bred by Frank O'Brien from Clogher in County Tyrone, trained by Alan Black. And of course the owner, Frank O'Brien, stands to win £60,000 if the dog wins, because he's also in line for the £10,000 Breeders' Prize. So does that black head know that there's 60 grand running on his head here? And Superfine Darky in trap 2. A dog who's very fast to the bend, running extremely consistently in this stake is Superfine Darky, getting up fast to the corner, battling his way home. If he leads around the corner of them, they'll all have to go to catch him. Now we come to the outsider of the party, Ballymoss Clover. Owned or bred and trained by Padder Lamb, the trainer from Tombs in County Louth, and Padder is holding the dog there. Ballymoss Clover, the son of Summerhill Gem and Sandy Lou, owned by Anthony O'Reilly from Finglas, and as I said, bred and trained by Padder Lamb, a most consistent greyhound, the oldest Derby in the final. He has run a staggering 60 races and he's won 22 of them, and he's a very fast dog to the bend, and a dog who could give them all a run to that corner. That's number 3, Ballymoss Clover. Now to number 4 is Sliding Away, with his trainer also, Michael O'Donovan. All the trainers are out tonight with their charges. This fella's son of Soda Fountain and Milltown Gem. He's a half-brother of that great dog Adraville Bridge. He was bred by Anne Cronin in Tipperary Town, and Anne and her husband Mick have had great pleasure from the dogs they've bred over recent years. Owned by Gordon Dupre from Camberley in Surrey. He's another dog running a big final tonight in Ramsgate, a dog called Poor Brian. And of course Michael O'Donovan, the trainer. Sliding Away, quite lightly raced. He's only run 14 races in his career, but he has run them well, and as you saw in the semi-final, capable of a fast break and can do anything on the run to the bend. That's number 4, Sliding Away. Incidentally, Radical Prince has only run 13 races, Superfine Darky 21. And there we see Marie O'Sullivan with Manx Treasure, the dog of which the doubt is about, the son of Green Park Fox and Menorcas Fuchsia, a brilliant greyhound, a young dog, and an August 90 dog, owned and bred by John Guilford from Isle of Man and trained by Mickey O'Sullivan. Well, they're looking at the front one, but it's the hind one there. That hind one there, that's the one that the problem is about. A little bit of heat in it. Now, I suppose if you could look closely enough, you'd spot it, but I must say from this distance, I can't quite see it. But what a great greyhound he is. He flashed away in the semi-finals to win in 30-23. He's only run 10 races in his career. He won the Black Cat Stakes at Kilkenny, and you know a dog that won that before was known as Sure Miller. He won the Derby here. Can history repeat itself? Number 5, Manx Treasure. And well, the last time he'll go on the mat, running the last race of his career. It's his 51st race. It's Farlow Melody, Francis Ruth. They're leading the dog around, and Farlow Melody, the son of Lodge Prince and Chinny Chin Chin, jointly owned by John Davis and Dave Tickner from Surrey in England, bred by Jim Moore in Eglinton and trained by Matt O'Donnell, who's bidding to win the 3rd successive Derby here in Shelbourne Park with 3 different greyhounds. And of course he won this year's English Derby too. Farlow Melody, well, he's done everything possible. He's won the English Derby, the Irish Derby, 2 Easter Cups, 2 Carroll's Internationals, reached the Derby final, the St. Leger final, the Champion Stakes final, you name it, he's practically done it. Can he win an Irish Derby? The big question in his last race.
Well, there's a last look at the market for the 1992 Respond Irish Greyhound Derby. The crowd already beginning to make a noise. They're packed to capacity in the stands here. Farlow Melody in his final race is the 7-4 favourite to become the winner of the English and Irish Derby. Manx Treasure uneasy in the market, out to 5-2, and Farlow's gone 6-4. 7-1 each of 2 Superfine Darky and Radical Prince. It's 8-1 Sliding Away, 40 Ballymoss Clover, and the crowd already beginning to chant. Many people here at Shelbourne unable to get a good view. They're roaring at the bookmakers to take down their umbrellas. It's absolutely teeming down, and conditions unfavourable as the bell sounds for the 1992 Respond Irish Greyhound Derby. In 1, Radical Prince. In 2 is Superfine Darky. In 3 is Ballymoss Clover. In 4 is Sliding Away. In 5 is Manx Treasure. In 6, Farlow Melody. The roar goes up, and away they go. And it's Manx Treasure who bombs away from Farlow Melody. They're already clear of Radical Prince and racing round the first turn. It's Manx Treasure from Farlow Melody and Radical Prince in 3rd. The 3 are clear. Manx Treasure, Farlow Melody, Radical Prince the inside. The 3 are headed between them. Manx Treasure, Radical Prince gone 2nd. Farlow has nothing more to give. It's Manx Treasure, Radical Prince the inside. They're racing to the finish. It's Manx Treasure and Radical Prince. Manx Treasure by an inch from Radical Prince. He scotched the rumours and won it. Radical Prince, Farlow is 3rd, but Manx Treasure despite all the rumours leading up to tonight's effort. His brilliant semi-final form has held him in good stead, and I think, and so do his connections, that he's just held off the brave effort of Eddie Wade's Radical Prince. So Manx Treasure for Mickey O'Sullivan and Isle of Man owner John Guilford is going to be officially called a photograph for here, but I think few will argue that Manx Treasure's brilliant speed away might have won the 1992 Respond Irish Greyhound Derby, Michael.
No doubt whatever about it. We've seen a great greyhound in action. He's run with an injury, and how he has run it. He's a superb greyhound in the 11th race of his career, and now we watch it. He takes another flyer from 5. Farlow is out fast from 6, but he just can't match him to the corner. In behind, well, Superfine Darky totally missed it at the start. Number 1, Radical Prince. What a race he ran also on the inside. He's in a clear third at the first corner, ahead of Ballymoss Clover and sliding away. And then at the back, Superfine Darky. But into the back, Manx Treasure in front, writing on the wall already for Farlow Melody. He'd need to be in front at this stage because Radical Prince is very close there in third. Down the back, Farlow trying to close on Manx Treasure. We wondered, would he hold out? Would that suspect leg hold out? What a marvellous training feat this is from Mickey O'Sullivan. The third bend, Radical Prince has gone second now ahead of Farlow. Manx Treasure in front, Radical trying everything he can do to close the gap. There's still a length in it, turning for home. Back in fourth place is Ballymoss Clover, followed by Sliding Away and Superfine Darky. Turning for home, the tight railing, Radical Prince comes up on the inside, looks as if he might get up there, but on the near side it's Manx Treasure holding the aces. The angle is deceptive, hits the line, no doubt whatever about it. He's won a head or a neck, and it's Manx Treasure, the son of Green Park Fox and Menorcas Fuchsia, proving himself one of the great greyhounds, winning the 1992 Respond Irish Derby final. On his way back there, led by the trainer's daughter Marie, on his way back for the presentation. What a great dog it is, and hopefully, look, he can, if you look closely at that hind leg, he's certainly feeling sore on that now. And will we see this dog running again? That must be the question. The time 30:53. It's a good run. It's not sensational. The conditions here aren't the best.
Conditions not the best, and maybe Manx Treasure wasn't at his best, but it was enough to win the 1992 Respond Irish Greyhound Derby. A brilliant semi-final run and a win for Manx Treasure at 5-2. Second was Radical Prince, a tremendous effort in second at 7-1, and the time was 30:53, with Farlow in his last race filling, as he did in the semi and quarter-finals, the third position.
Yes, well, Manx Treasure there, a great performance. Well, the Derby here in Shelbourne never fails to produce the goods, and we have seen another spectacular there, another marvellous performance from the son of Green Park Fox and Menorcas Fuchsia. He's just an August 90 pup, and well, if the injuries allow him, he'll be back next year. And Mickey O'Sullivan told me during the week that injuries allowing, the English Derby next June will be his target. And well, what a fan club he'd carry there. The way this dog is running to the bend, he's absolutely scorching to the corner. A really, really good greyhound. I think we've been privileged to see one of the great Derby finals, as there we see Albert Reynolds surrounded by Board Nagon members, Jim Brennan with the cap, Ned Riley with the bald head and with his back to us, and waiting for the presentation. The rain really belting down. The result has just been confirmed, but certainly it's number 5, Manx Treasure, the winner, from Radical Prince in second, and Farlow Melody third, in a time of 30:53. So a truly great race, and well, Farlow has done it all, and he's certainly lost nothing in defeat. As we see Mickey O'Sullivan, the trainer there, talking to Albert Reynolds on Taoiseach and being congratulated. Mickey thrilled with himself. It's his first Derby finalist, and he's won it, and he's every reason to be thrilled. He's done a marvellous job here in preparing this dog and getting him through his injuries to be ready here tonight.
Thank you very much indeed. Mickey O'Sullivan is here with me, elated, I'm sure.
Elated, I can't get words to describe it.
Tell us about the drama in the last few days.
The drama up to 4 o'clock this evening is unbelievable. We thought at 4 o'clock this evening wouldn't even be running. He was still sore in the hop. He didn't respond to treatment during the week the way we liked it, that he should have, you know. So they were still heating the leg this morning. So it was uproar all day. So
when you consider what's happened over the last 2 months, it's an amazing victory.
He's a tremendous hearted dog. That's all I can say. I just can't believe it.
He got away to a flyer, of course, Mickey.
Got away to a flyer. He's a tremendous pup. It was only his 11th race in his career.
And we have the owner here as well.
The owner. Where's the owner? Where's the owner? I don't know where he's
gone. John, here you go.
Hello, Mikey. Well done.
John Guilford, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
What a success.
Oh, absolutely magnificent. wonderful. I mean, we've struggled with the dog with the injury. I've got to pay, you know, so much praise on Michael and the vet, Pat Rowley. I mean, they've been marvellous. They worked so hard on the dog. And he's run a magnificent race tonight. What time did he do? 30:53. I think that's wonderful.
Would it be fair to say that in the hours before this race, perhaps you're being advised there's no way he should run?
Well, I don't know about being advised there was no way he should run. I mean, we've obviously kept a very close look on him all week. And in the end, you know, the dog was not getting any better, but he was hanging on in there. So,
what about the race itself? It was a close finish.
It was a close finish that I missed, I'm afraid, because I was up the top of the stand. I couldn't see because of the bookmakers' umbrellas. They tell me Radical Prince got very close to him.
Very, very close indeed.
Yeah, so, well, hard luck.
And indeed, Farlow put up a very old challenge as well at one stage during the race.
He did, going down the back straight. I mean, Farlow's a magnificent dog, absolutely magnificent dog. And, you know, I mean, I'm glad we won, but, you know, his career's ended. He's got nothing to regret anyway. I mean, Farlow's been tremendous.
Well, while Farlow's career is ending tonight after his 51st race, what about the future of Manx Treasure now? The English Derby?
I don't know. I'm going to go away. I'm going to have a drink, give him a good rest, and we'll have a think about it.
Congratulations indeed, John and Mickey indeed. Happy celebrations indeed. And the presentation happening now in the background.
Yes, the presentation now going on as we see there. Frank Hayes of Kerry Group with his back to the camera with the umbrella over his head, and Frank no doubt delighted that it's got to this stage, and well, didn't come quite prepared for the rain here today. And I heard the reports from Listowel today about the great sunshine. Well, the great sunshine didn't arrive here in Shelbourne Park tonight, as we see the trophy now being handed over to John Guilford whenever John can get in to receive his trophy.
Well, there you are, a very happy scene in the background, some nice prize money as well indeed, £50,000, and the presentation being enjoyed here by the big crowd in Shelbourne Park. And that's where we're just about going to wrap our programme in the torrential rain, really. Don't forget the Nissan Cycling Classic coming up on Network 2 immediately after this. But we'll leave you tonight with the news that Manx Treasure, trained in Tipperary by Mickey O'Sullivan, has come out of adversity, really, through injury and all the rest of it, to break the pain barrier and win the Respond Irish Derby. From everybody here in RTE Sport in Shelbourne Park, good night.